I was a little boy doing push-ups in an institutional facility by myself. And occasionally some of the counselors or staff would come in and bring bodybuilding magazines too. Couldn't read, didn't understand the reason for it, but I was inspired to think about things that could be by the photos in the magazine. As a result of that, I wanted to read. You know, I wanted to think artistically about the human body and how to express feelings. Make no mistake about it, I've been staying out here in California, but I sleep on the floor, you know, in a very small room, you know, focused on making this thing happen, you know. Recently, you know, my best friend has come to my aid, he's trying to encourage me and support me in ways psychologically that I don't think anybody else could, you know. The road to being one of the best, I think, can be a very lonely one, you know, and I have been willing to accept that loneliness, you know, at whatever cost. And some people don't understand that. At times, not even your woman, you know. But I've been of the presence of mind not to allow that to deter me in any way, because I believe this to be the most important pursuit of my life. You know, some people can spend a lifetime trying to find themselves or trying to find a cause for them that is worthy, you know, of their absolute best effort, of their sweat and their sacrifice. You know, I was fortunate enough to find that early. In so doing, I found medication to help soothe my soul and my beaten spirit when other experiences in my life let me down and betray me, you know. As a teenager, I remember going to the gym, not really fitting in very well with anybody, you know, in any social circle. My hair was always too long, just not really quite fitting in, not very well adjusted at all. But you could go to the gym and quickly become this portrait of barely controlled fury, and it was okay. It was okay, you know. Maybe other things could have been the vehicle to channel that stuff, but for me, you know, it became bodybuilding. I remember being a teenager, and I would take the train to the gym after I found, you know, this place where I could let go, where fuck you didn't matter. And it wasn't something that made people look at you in fear or feel threatened by you, or you had to apologize for being angry or intense, you know. In fact, the more intense you could be, the better. You know, how intense could you be? Can you be intense enough to pick this 500 pounds off the floor? Are you intense enough to pick this 700 pounds up? Squat down to the floor and stand back up? So what, your eyes are bloodshot? You know, so what, your bones feel like snapping? What are you gonna do? And I loved it. Suddenly, there are different kinds of music that made so much more sense. The soundtrack to Conan, the original Conan, it made sense. It gave me chills every time I listened to it in my headphones, rocking back and forth on the platform of the train, waiting to go to the gym. No distance was too far. If it snowed outside, if it was raining, we still got to go to the gym. I'd cut school, I'm going to the gym. Or I'd cut school, I'm going to go to sleep. because I got to go to the gym tonight and we got to squat. It's a leg day, you know. And if I got to die tonight, if this weight is going to kill me tonight, then so be it. If I meet the end of the world tonight, I'm in the place that I want to be, right here in the gym. I swear, and with that passion, man, years go by, time goes by, and you end up forging something beautiful and creating a new opportunity for yourself that you probably didn't even, you know, you're gonna win money now. I remember competing for no money. Hell, the title of Arnold Classic, I'd compete in it for nothing. I'd stay on this Stairmaster for 8 hours if I had to, with no money offering. I mean, to me, I've been a fan of this. This is a part of me. It's the idea alone. A portrait of barely controlled fury was the thing you needed to become in order to get over the pain. And there is no pain. You want to find the zone. Well, that's where it is. Right there. Right there. Fuck overtraining. I think a certain amount of overtraining is good. Or at least you learn in the continuum of your training. Some overtraining is great because you need that just to be able to saturate the muscles with feeling so you can build those neurological pathways that need to be in order for you to make greater and greater connections, greater command and usage of the muscle, period. So overtrain. I remember being able to go to the gym and just blank out. Just blank out.
New from MHP comes Dark Matter. Conceived, created, and tested in the Maximum Human Performance Labs, Dark Matter is finally ready to take your muscles to a new level of extreme growth. The science behind Dark Matter is a new technology called high-velocity nanophysics. This technology allows for a fast, synergistic, post-workout anabolic reaction as you enter the anabolic axis, the point in which insulin levels simultaneously peak with amino acid, creatine, and glycogen to trigger protein synthesis and extreme muscle growth. But what does all this science mean for your workout? For Arnold Classic champion and Mr. Olympia contender Victor Martinez, it means that every workout ends with dark matter. Dark matter has taken a quantum leap into post-workout supplementation. This bioengineered formula opens the critical anabolic window faster, wider, and longer to trigger the most powerful anabolic reaction ever experienced. The world's most anabolic creatine, anabolically activated with aminos, waximase, and CG3, faster absorption than whey, and 600% greater protein synthesis with special blue portal amino acid matrix, dramatically spikes insulin and superior glycogen replenishment with waximase and multiplex glucose polymers, maximum creatine uptake, and cell volumizing with multi-phase creatine matrix. Don't waste another workout. Immediately after your next training session, chug down some dark matter and introduce your muscles to a new frontier of growth as you enter the anabolic axis.